Welcome, everyone, to Topic Wonders number 20, I guess, 8? Is it right? Hope so. 28. I'm your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Connor. What's up, Connor?
Hello.
All right, so what do you have to say about the election, Connor?
Well, just to be honest, the only, in simple terms, I think America have made a grave error of judgment in appointing Donald Trump as their leader, as their president, as their representative on the world stage.
Okay.
I watched the whole entire election. The BBC over here were running it it had a whole 5-hour sort of live commentary of what was going on. And just to see the amount of swing states that were turning from what would have previously been a Democratic owned area to Republican was just absolutely mind-blowing. I did not expect a result like that. Donald Trump is a racist. He's a racist, misogynistic. But I think basically both of them is what he primarily is. I mean, his own words, he's almost vindicated an entire race by calling them rapists and murderers. He is going to build a wall, and I understand in an interview with CBS, since he's been elected last Tuesday, he's confirmed it's going to happen.
Yes.
He's going to build a wall between Mexico, your neighbors, and America, the States. And it's going to be part fence or something.
Something like that. And
now what I see is he's appointing the various roles.
Right.
And
can we stick with at least one topic so we can go each thing?
Well, yeah.
Like the top right? Yeah. Okay. As far as the wall goes, all right, it's documented that a lot of times illegals are getting arrested for rape and crimes, and a lot of them illegal aliens, okay? One of the main purposes that he, I guess, wants to do the wall is too many people are coming to this country illegally, taking away the jobs, committing crimes, but is not really bound by our, laws. And they're really getting away with it. They're unknown. They're also sending money back to their country. And Obama sent away, I think, 3 million this year. Sent 3 million people back just this year.
I read he sent 3 million back.
Yeah. So it's not uncommon when they say, oh my God, Donald Trump's going to send 2 million back or 3 million back. Obama's done that a few times. And that's just a regular thing. It's not the fact that, there was a better candidate, because they both have their issues. It was the first time ever that people really didn't have a choice, in the sense that they felt that none of them was really better than the other. We had the case with Hillary, where she used to put down black people, calling them predators and different things. She went after women that slept around with her husband and destroyed their careers and their lives. And when the phone call was made to her during the night, 2 a.m, to save an ambassador and troops, she didn't give the order, and people got killed. So there's a lot of yes.
You see, the thing with the situations with Hillary is that there is a severe lack of evidence of anything. But with Trump, you've got a situation where you're watching a man rallying and campaigning in these big states like Texas, Ohio, California, trying to swing the election. And you can actually see coming from his mouth some of the vitriol that he's saying about Muslims, about Mexicans, he about women. I mean, as a Trump supporter, do you think it's right to grab a woman by the pussy?
Absolutely not. And first of all, when he said that, he was being recorded. He knows he was being recorded, joking around with that guy. And besides the fact that, no, I don't agree with that at all in any way, shape, or form, 100%, for everything that he's done that's stupid, she's done 10 times worse. The FBI wait, hold on. The FBI head under the investigation for her emails, his son worked for her, which is part of the record. So besides that, she had placed Chelsea Clinton in NBC to work for the media company, which is also MSNBC and NBC. CNN, Donna Brazil was working for her and getting all the questions from CNN, rigging basically the debates, whatever she could rig. Even Megyn Kelly from Fox is a Clinton supporter. Now, they have the power of the media. We've also seen on camera that one of her people handed his cell phone to the reporter to read the question that she chose. And besides that, it has been shown how she tried to destroy all these women that, because of her legal background, that had any connection with her husband. She also was against the gay and lesbian community like 15 years ago. So it's hip and it's in now to like be all for them. And also her husband was for building a wall back about 10 years or 15 years. So her husband was for building the wall back then. And you can see interviews that occurred, that nobody booed him then. They were all cheering for him, Clinton. Oh, we got to keep illegals out and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say, Connor, is that while he is guilty of saying a lot of things, she's guilty for a good amount of things as well. There wasn't really anybody that standed out. And as far as being a supporter of
Trump is far, far worse.
Every
he's a nightmare.
Hold on, Steampunk. Connor's trying to talk.
The thing with Clinton is that every investigation against Clinton has been dropped. That states to me there's a severe lack of evidence.
Actually, he, according to the impeachment thing, he wasn't impeached as the president. But he was found guilty, and he lost his law license.
I'm talking about Bill. I'm not talking about Bill.
Okay.
I'm talking about Hillary. About Hillary. All of the investigations against her by the FBI have been dropped, have they not?
The FBI investigation has been dropped, but they also had an FBI investigation that she started to go after him about his connection with Russia, which was done immediately, that he was pronounced innocent. So, yes, the emails with the FBI, that was dropped. And also, it came out today that supposedly, I'm not sure how much true this is, but Obama is going to do a pardon on her regardless if she is indicted or not. So that way, whatever happened before the date of the pardon, she's excused of any crimes, which right away I find very, very telling.
Well, she's probably going to be excused of any crimes because she hasn't committed any crimes.
I would agree with that. Because there was no crimes committed in the emails. The FBI director, who was appointed by George W. Bush, said that himself. That was just overhyped bad. And he did that purposely to try to turn the election against her. She still won the popular vote by...
But why would the FBI director want to turn the election against her when he tried to bury the investigation to protect her?
Well, I mean, he brought it up 11 days. He brought it up twice. He brought it up once,
He
months
did it
before.
because he was trying to protect himself because he was being investigated to his connection with her.
No, from the sources I read, the FBI has pretty much become Trump land. They were pro-Trump. They were doing everything in their power. Well, no, I mean, the director of the FBI was appointed by George W. Bush. He's very far right wing, from what I understand.
Yeah, but George W. Bush didn't even vote for Trump.
Well, that's neither here nor there. He said he voted for nobody.
Right.
For president. But he just left that part blank. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying you have somebody who is an appointee from a previous administration that is a known right-winger, and that's the director of the FBI. I can't think of his name right offhand. And I think the reason why so many Americans are enraged is because Hillary won the popular vote by a wide margin. I mean, she's like almost up 1 million votes now.
Well, if you know about the healthcare system, the price for Obamacare has skyrocketed, where people are going to be paying thousands of dollars in deductibles before they even get to what?
That's actually not true. Obamacare doesn't cost anything. All Obamacare is
no, that is
regulation.
True. I have patients that are paying thousands through the roof. That Obamacare
That's not Obamacare. That's not Obamacare.
It is called Obamacare. When you call up, it's Obamacare. It is Obamacare. I know for a fact that it's too high, and they're raising everything. And people
well, that's not because of Obamacare. That's because of greedy insurance companies. You got to pay those $20 million a year CPUs.
Here's the thing. Bottom line is that it wasn't Republicans that just hired Trump. It was Democrats, too, that didn't really make their...
But not most people. But not most people. Most people are not behind him.
People who voted for Obama.
Oh, sorry.
A big portion of them voted for Trump.
I know people... yeah, sorry, I was told I was being too loud.
All right.
But most Americans are not behind him.
That's not true because they voted him in.
Not by most votes.
A lot of people voted for Trump because they wanted change. We didn't get it.
Not most people.
But with Trump, you're not going to get change.
How do you know that?
What you're going to get? No, because he's plain as day, and anyone can see it. The whole entire world can see it now. I mean, you're going to get a purging of your country.
No, I don't.
Where
think so.
This is an act of supremacy.
Already, one of the biggest car dealerships that was going to outsource to Mexico, is now going to remain in Ohio, which is a big deal because of the Trump becoming president. Also, everybody reached out to him the moment it was announced that he was president. The Syrian president, Israel, Russia, everybody basically. And here's the thing: when Hillary was running, she ripped to shreds these foreign countries that she's supposed to be dealing with in a peaceful manner. Okay? So it's a thing where you don't go to attack everybody. When you're the president, you want to have peaceful coexistence with people. And not that you're in bed with the enemy, but you want to work with people so you don't have enemies. All right?
Well, what Trump has said is far worse. He says that he would want to kill innocent civilians. He said that. He's like, I want to kill families. I want to kill innocent
He didn't say that.
He did.
Where did he say that?
On television.
He did not say he wants to kill innocent people.
He did.
No, he did.
Yes, he did. I'm telling you, man.
Show me the clip that he said that he wants innocent people to die.
Man, that's the onus is on you for that, man.
No, but show me a clip.
You said so many bad things.
Do you see the people that are Democratic? That anybody who voted for Trump, they want them murdered, killed. They want them homeless. They had spoken out about how Robert De Niro had the audacity to use 9/11 and say that when Trump was announced that he became the president, it's like what he felt like on 9/11. 9/11, thousands.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a very.
Nobody died when Trump got elected. How dare you, especially if you're doing Tribeca and stuff in New York, how dare you that you're trying to build up New York? How dare you compare the deaths of thousands of people, 9/11 to Trump?
Well, I think it's a valid concern to compare.
And that's horrible. And then you know what's going to happen?
He's such a
Even people who are Clinton supporters are going against Robert De Niro for his stupid comments, and they're going to boycott him and Tribeca because that's a sensitive spot. People who lost people on 9/11. You don't bring that up. It has nothing to do with the Trump thing. You feel the same way. Then obviously you didn't feel powerful enough when 9/11 happened. But that's a separate issue.
The thing is that what Robert De Niro said was bizarre.
Yes.
It was odd.
Also, Lady Gaga saying only hire Democrats and not Republicans.
Away from the political sort of mindset that Robert De Niro might have.
Right.
He's an actor. So he's going to speak in a way where he's exaggerating his emotions,
right?
Where he is exaggerating a lot of facts, probably about how he's feeling, because he's an actor. You know, he's almost trained to be like that,
right?
Because that's his profession. The whole.
Why would he be looking for hype if he's already got hype with himself?
The celebrity fanfare with Clinton. To be perfectly honest, I'm British. I don't really give a damn about American politics.
Right.
But these two candidates are like, it's like you have a worse option, but you have an even worse option. So it's like voting between two sort of bad apples.
It's a matter of interpretation to what's worse, being in this country and being in the government for 30 years and screwing it up very, very badly, or someone without experience who didn't really screw up this country because he wasn't never really involved with this country, what to do with the government in the first place.
Well, I think from an experience point of view, there's no, you cannot deny that Hillary would have been the better candidate, because
I do deny that, actually, because
that's naive.
But that's my opinion, because that's just an opinion. That's all. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and again, regardless of my opinion, I basically am friends with people that are Hillary supporters and remain friends, because it's just, and this is what I don't understand too. This is one election, just like every other election. When Obama became president, and if people didn't get their way, they didn't protest. They didn't burn stuff down. They didn't go crazy. With this case, the guy didn't even get in office yet. He didn't even do anything. And he even said...
Well, he's already done bad things.
No, he even said that he'll even hire Obama as an advisor. And he'll even work with Hillary to make the country great again, basically. Whatever it takes to make the country great again, to show unity, he's all for it. Okay?
But America is already great. I mean, this is an act of dividing the country. Right. This is not going to make you great. This is going to.
I'm not saying it makes you great, but the thing is that there are things that are the people that are Democrats. There's nothing. I'm just going to say this. There's nothing going to happen to reverse the election, no matter what you sign, no matter what you create. There is a clause, there is a thing that people don't know about. Not only when she says that she abdicates or she concedes the presidency and she will not fight it, it's a legal thing too, that she basically, knowing the votes it is, completely gave up, like a wrestling match, tapping out or whatever. Legally, she could never be the president from this election, even if they overturned it. Because it's a legal thing. She would lose billions and billions and millions of dollars. You can't. She signed a paper that she admits she lost. She's not going to fight it, and no lawyer that she hired can fight it.
She just gave a concession speech. She didn't sign a paper, but
she gave up. She abdicated her right.
Well, she gave a concession speech, but the thing is that there is one other option that could prevent Trump from getting to be president.
You can't prevent it.
No, you can, but it's a long shot, and it's legal.
If you prevent him from becoming president, you are going to have riots on the other side of the people that voted him in.
Well, that's fascist.
But it's not fair. If he got elected,
he didn't get elected.
He did get elected,
but he got not elected.
Same thing happened with Gore. Bush won the electoral vote. This is the way we've had it.
Actually, Bush didn't win the electoral vote because Bush lost Florida. It was the Supreme Court and the judges.
Bush won fair and square.
Well, not fair and square.
Presidency.
Not fair and not fair.
And when you added it up afterwards,
Oh,
we didn't even have the popular vote.
sorry.
Look it up right now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't mean to get in trouble, but Gore didn't have the popular vote. If you look it up now, it was all law. So
yeah, but either way, Gore had the popular vote and he had the electoral.
He didn't have the popular vote. It was appeared that he had the popular. No, look it up now.
He had the popular vote in the state of Florida.
Listen, the popular vote and the whole entire system, it went to Bush. Weeks and weeks and weeks after.
Yeah, but Bush did not win the majority of the votes. There was a huge deficit. That was the reason why people were protesting that election as well.
But that was because all those millions of ballots were not turned in until after.
Yeah, Gore won the popular vote. Bush was a dictator president. He also won the popular vote in Florida as well. The problem is the Supreme Court basically picked who was going to be president, and there was a lot of judges on George H. Bush. But yeah, Al Gore should have been president, just like Hillary Clinton should have been president. Most people voted for her.
You have it right here on Wikipedia.
Yeah,
that Gore did not have the popular vote.
He did have the popular vote.
So it says it right here.
Where?
On Wikipedia.
I just looked it up on Wikipedia. He did win the popular vote by 500,000, man. Over 500,000 votes.
Yeah, Al Gore won the popular vote.
Let's see.
In
that's
the
been known
November 7th, 2000 election, Al Gore won 50,999,897, which was 48.4% of the electoral votes, and Bush only got 50,456,002, which is 47.9%.
I'm listening to you.
But yeah, that's the problem why people are so angry for the second time in 16 years.
Gore, 50,999,897, 50,456,2. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's been known since 2000. He also won the popular vote in Florida too. But
I stand corrected.
The problem with Florida with Al Gore was Al Gore made a mistake by only wanting to do select Democratic counties. If he had done a recount for the entire state, he would have won by, I think, several.
But that's why they have the opportunity to not contest the election.
It's very undemocratic by principle and by practice, unfortunately.
So honestly, you guys don't even think to give him a chance. You guys think that Trump is just going to destroy this country before he even starts?
I think he's going to damage it pretty heavily. I think that the Democrats are close to retaking the Senate in 2 years. They only need to knock out 2 Republican seats, and they can block Trump for the Senate in 2 years, but he can do a lot of damage in 2 years.
I think he's going to rip you apart, and I think he's going to commit a crime that will eventually lead to him being impeached.
I hope, for our sakes, Connor, that you're wrong. And again, not that I want you to be wrong, but I don't want us to be hurt by it. But and I have a feeling that I think that, like he said on election night at 2:00 in the morning, he's probably going to be president for 2 terms.
I don't think so.
There's no way he's going to do 2 terms.
Yeah, there's no way. He's 64% disapproval rate. Most Americans are not behind him at all.
And I do think
most Americans didn't vote for him. They didn't support him. They're not behind him.
I honestly think that Michelle Obama is going to run in 4 years rather than Hillary, because Hillary's already, I think she's done.
Well, you know what this has done? Now every tosser and their dad is going to run.
Oh, yeah, because he had no experience, and he, at 70, he's the president.
This has set a precedent now, going forward, that any guy can run the country. And I think that in the long term is going to damage America.
It might, or it might not. I really hope for our sakes it doesn't. But
well, some of the things that Trump has already done as president-elect has shown me that he's no different than any other corrupt politician. He brought in a guy, a lobbyist from Wall Street, to appoint his cabinet, to select people for staff and cabinet. And this is a person that's taken kickback and bribes for years. I can't think of the person's name, but the people that he's bringing into his cabinet have a history of corruption. He's not bringing any change at all. He's just, it's all done for his own ego and his own business interests, and he's not going to bring any change. You just look at like Newt Gingrich for Secretary of State. This is a guy that cost the government millions of dollars because he didn't like sitting at the back of the plane. Brought up an impeachment hearing against Clinton over petty stuff, and basically, divided the country. And this is a guy they're going to make Secretary of State, Rudy Giuliani, the Surgeon General, and then Ben Carson, Rudy Giuliani as Attorney General and Ben Carson as Surgeon General. And Ben Carson is the guy who lied about stabbing somebody in the belt buckle or something like that, hitting people with a hammer. He made up all kinds of crazy stuff, and I just don't think that's a good person to be Surgeon General. And it's just like he's doing loyal kickbacks, and he's just like any other person, just as corrupt. And then Trump also bragged about having an enemies list. He was only president-elect for day one, and he's already bragging, I got an enemies list. I remember who did me wrong. And so that's not good. He doesn't really care about uniting the country. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said that.
I have a question.
I think the big name that people are most worried about is Steve Bannon, because of his history. He owned a alternative right-wing website that ran some pretty ridiculous headlines. Wasn't it like birth control makes women unattractive and crazy? Trannies are 40% more likely to have a 49% higher HIV rate. Some ridiculous, and he's been endorsed by a former leader of the Ku Klux Klan, which is also a group that have endorsed Trump.
First of all, just because some crazy lunatic group endorses Trump doesn't mean that he's in bed with the crazy lunatic that endorses him.
Well,
Hillary had took pictures with Osama bin Laden and is like, right? I mean, come on, Connor. I mean, it's like, look at what this guy.
No, I mean,
it's not great, obviously.
If you do the research into Trump requotes neo-Nazi groups. He did this many times during the campaign, and he also quotes Mussolini. And the quote that he
honestly, the only way we're going to be able to see is when he's the president. And I think that because he was voted in, he has a right to be president. Nobody should take that away.
Wasn't voted in, he was selected.
I really don't think it's going to be bad at all with him being president. I think everybody's just blowing out of proportion. I think that he's going to be very successful. But hopefully I'm right, because I don't want to be wrong, because then we suffer. So.
Well, they said the same thing when Mussolini and Hitler came to power. They're like, oh, they're just strong men. They won't be a big deal. They won't do much damage.
The New York Times in 1922 underestimated Hitler, and he went on to kill millions and millions and millions and millions of Jews.
Right.
And now the world will never be the same before because Hitler changed the world because of his acts of terror and vile. He started a war. Trump might not be far off that at a very, very big stretch.
I have a question. Okay.
That far off.
I have a question for you, Connor. What's the status of the UK right now? With
in terms of what
Brexit that you guys went through?
Brexit.
Well, in terms of Brexit, we're going through a difficult time. But the talk at the moment is that the UK seems to have. Well, actually, I don't mean the UK.
Con, I'm sorry, Steampunk. Could you mute for a second, because I can't.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
There is. You probably know who he is. Nigel Farage.
Okay.
Is a right-wing politician in the UK. He practically ran a campaign for 20 years to get out of the EU. He ran the UK Independence Party, and still does now after trying to leave about 3 times in the past year.
Okay.
He's sort of self-appointed himself as an ambassador between the new president-elect Trump and 10 Downing Street with Theresa May as Prime Minister. And now Theresa May is in a predicament where she now has to get him out of the way because Trump is not contacting her. There is no attempt to make any sort of relation between Theresa May and Donald Trump at the moment. It's more between Trump and Farage. That's the issue. That's the political issue of the moment. And
so you're saying that Trump is influencing you guys where they won't answer her, but he'll answer him. So they're going to make him into that position.
He's gonna answer Farage because Farage is more of his sort of political views than she is. But he needs to be diplomatic with her because she's a very powerful woman. She is in charge of the UK. She leads the UK in the world stage as Trump leads America. You know, Nigel Farage has no power, but Nigel Farage can influence Trump.
Right.
Theresa May needs to form a relationship with Donald Trump that will make the relations between the US and the UK work. Because at the moment, trade is very important because if we leave the EU by 2019, which is the plan, we need the trade that Donald Trump has promised us to practically almost start our sort of independent life as the UK, you know, because the America and Germany and China and all of these big super states are sort of the most important trade dealers with us. We're getting a few new ones. We're in talks with Norway and New Zealand and Australia to form trade deals, but most of those are falling apart after the negotiation stage. So it's important that we keep America sort of in our circle. And Nigel Farage is not letting that happen to the degree that it should be because he's getting in the way of Theresa May forming any sort of meaningful relationship in a political sense with Donald Trump. So that's the issue at the moment. There was a statement released today where Downing Street said that there's certainly no intention to make Nigel Farage the spokesman of the UK in America. He's not the middleman. This is between Theresa May and Donald Trump. And that Nigel Farage has no business dealing any things in the name of the UK with Donald Trump. So there are things that are currently in place that are stopping Nigel Farage from doing anything significant with Donald Trump, but he's having an influence over him. And he is a huge supporter of Donald Trump because he's been at rallies in, I think it was Jacksonville, I think a few months ago.
Okay.
And he was coaching him before the second or third debate. He was giving him tips. He was practically acting as his debate coach.
Right.
And so he's had a massive influence over him in the last few months. So we really have to find a way to stop Nigel Farage from doing anything significant between the UK and the US. But in terms of Brexit, there's been a lot of sort of difficulty, roadblocks going on, but it's nothing substantial.
And Steampunk, what's the status of the protesters in your area? I mean, is it getting really bad?
It's been confined to certain areas because I think people have to apply for permits and they can only protest in certain areas. But last night, I just avoided Temple and Hill because Temple and Hill has been brutal police attacks, which you saw in the video that I uploaded, including attacking me, and I wasn't even a protester. So I just avoided the area. So I don't really know. Maybe.
I think they thought that you were a protester. I didn't really think they were attacking you. I mean, they were trying to move.
Well, they were attacking me with. If you look at the video, the reason why the camera faces away from the police officers, you hear a thud. That's him tapping me with his baton. That's
Right.
an attack.
Okay.
And I said, "Don't touch me," and you hear that in the video. But that's technically an attack, and it was an unwarranted attack. And I mean, I was just recording the protest because it was interesting.
Right.
I was waiting on the bus, and I didn't realize the police were gonna be like a vacuum cleaner and clear everybody out. And it was really creepy because these peaceful protesters with their signs, chanting slogans, marching down the street. The police had a line of people in riot gear going behind them. And then they flanked them to the left and right. You see in the video where you can see them running
Right.
ahead of the protesters so that they could block any exit from the left and right. And I think what they were trying to do, because the police groups all across the country have done this in previous protests like Occupy Wall Street, what they were trying to do is box people in so that they can contain them and arrest them. And I almost ended up getting boxed in. They weren't going to allow me to go back to the train station. Luckily, I will give credit to one random nice LAPD officer who said, he's not a part of the protest. I saw you at the bus stop. So that's really messed up. It's like, so what? Even if I was part of the protest, so I'm not allowed to go to the train station? I mean, and that's pretty much what they were doing, is they were boxing people in because they're going to decide.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
And I do value your opinion and Connor's opinion. It was been very eventful, and we'll probably be.
Sorry if I yell. I didn't mean to yell. I get passionate sometimes.
No, that's all right. I didn't mean to come off strong either. I do appreciate Connor. You've been a great help with this in Steampunk, and hopefully we could do these again with more people, and make use of Topic Wonders. So, thanks again, guys. Take care. Bye for now.